Good evening and welcome to News Break. There's one more person who's breaking the news. That is the Jawan, a man who at his old age, and yes, age is a number, is still Jawan. He's broken all records. Shah Rukh Khan's new movie is the fastest film to collect 250 crores in India in 4 days. There is an absolute mania. You go to cinema halls and you'll realize. It has had the highest single-day opening collection, the highest extended opening weekend collection. It has also made a global impact in terms of gross worldwide box office collection, which is at 520 crores. It is the fastest Bollywood film to earn 500 crores at the global box office, and this after the grand success of Gadar 2. So you can imagine the Gadar Jawan has created. Jawan has hit a global 500 crore club in just 4 days. Now, what were the fastest movies to collect 250 crores? So there's Jawan in 4 days, Pathan in 5 days, Gadar 2 in 6 days, KGF 2, the Hindi version, in 7 days, and Bahubali 2, the Hindi version, in 8 days. So this is the record post-COVID of the movies. It seems that people who watch cinema are now willing to reward cinestars, old traditional superstars, and gifting them the gift of box office hits. So the big question is, this Jawan, is this a case of the Unstoppable SRK? Let's quickly take a look of this phenomenon that we saw on the streets of India.
जब मैं विलन बनता हूं ना
Even as Shah Rukh Khan's Jawan attempts to connect the Bollywood superstar with Tamil audience 10 years after his Chennai Express, the film is also a litmus test for popular Tamil film director Atlee, who made this film.
अपनी जान 1000 बार दांव पर लगा सकते हैं, लेकिन सिर्फ देश के लिए.
And the talented young musician, the Kolaveri fame Anirudh, to win hearts in Hindi cinema.
So Kali, no deal.
I think today's day and age we are very lucky, sir, because there's no language barrier. I think even for me as a musician, I think being in music right now is the best time to be. It's a golden period, and yes, Vikram Jailer and Jawan now continuously. I think we are blessed, and we are doing our best to deliver.
हमारे पास अभी सिर्फ एक ही क्लू है.
That's not all. Also expanding their footprint, 2 other superstars. The hero turned villain Vijay Sethupathi, making yet another pan-India splash after flexing his muscle in Kamal Hassan's Vikram and on OTT in Hindi.
I am the 4th largest weapon dealer in the world. अगर कोई मेरे इतने बड़े एम्पायर को हाथ लगाएगा तो let's make it.
And Shah Rukh Khan's lead lady Nayanthara, fondly called the lady superstar in Tamil cinema.
कुछ romantic करोगे मुझे impress करने के लिए.
With that South masala, Atlee has brought all the Shah Rukh Khan's speciality out of him.
He's a perfect villain for SRK, and the big blockbuster actors and all. Vijay Sethupathi is nowadays breaking everything, I think.
SRK and Atlee sir, and also for the Nayanthara ma'am. She have really did a good job, and our actions and stunts were really good.
While over the last few years, the southern film industry has set a benchmark with record series of blockbusters, including Bahubali, Ponniyin Selvan and Vikram, Jawan could also export a set of talent to Bollywood, even as the film is touted to set the box office on fire. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find TV.
All right, joining us right now, Girish Wankhede is a film trade analyst, Mayank Shekhar is a film critic, and Yash Paryani, head of SRK Universe. So let me begin with Yash. You were pretty clearly, I mean, with a name like SRK Universe, very excited with Pathan and now pretty excited with Jawan. But let me be the in-house critic here to Shah Rukh Khan. You see, the point is there were also a lot of people who had reviews that it was very difficult to watch this movie, too much violence. This is not characteristic of Shah Rukh Khan. How do you respond?
You can't expect a lot of comedy in an action movie, right? When
Yeah.
you're going for an action movie, you expect action, right? So you can't you can't complain about it. It's from the trailer, from the preview, from all the stills and everything. It was pretty clear it's an action movie, action-packed movie. You can't expect the film not to have action, right? It's a typical Italy film, and from the trailer, from the looks of it, it was pretty clear it's an action movie, right? So, yeah. I mean, it's what you go to the cinema expecting. If you expect it to be a comedy movie, you will be disappointed. If you expect it to be a proper entertainer with lots of action, you will be entertained. Yeah.
Yash, tell me something. What do you think has evolved or changed in Shah Rukh Khan over the past few movies, particularly last two movies, when you compare it to, say, his earlier movies?
So in 2018, the last film he did before Pathaan was Zero. It was an experimental film. He was a dwarf, and he wanted to try something different. Even Ravan fan, for instance, he's always the one who try to do something different. Sort of a movie, VFX oriented. Post that, he has shifted to action movies. But having said that, he has not compromised on the quality. If you see Jawan, it's like the visuals and the shots, action, they are very world class. Even the Pathaan, the way it was shot, right? All the best locations and everything. It gave the typical Hollywood film look. So it's not that he has compromised on the quality. It's just that he's doing more, entertaining films rather than the experiment that he did.
Mayank Shekhar, do you feel that, this movie is a sort of a blend of North meets South? Like you've got, and then that makes in totality, Indian film industry, that you would have, you look at these teasers and you would feel that this is, till such time that you don't see Shah Rukh Khan, it looks like a big budget South movie. I don't know if you can understand what I'm trying to say, but
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally understand what you're saying. And I think that is what makes this particular film unique, in the sense that you see Shah Rukh Khan inhabiting a universe that is completely Tamil cinema, the Tamil masala cinema. There's no doubt in my head that Shah Rukh, when he took that sabbatical to figure out what is it that he wants to come back with, he sat and studied these films. Then he's obviously gone and hired Atlee, who is one of the most commercially successful directors back in Chennai. He's had 4 consecutive hits, Marcel, Bigil, Raja Rani, you know what I mean? So he knows his stuff. He's used to doing films. I think of the 4 films that he directed, 3 of them have either a double role with Thalapathy Vijay in it, or the 2 diametrically opposite roles for the lead. So that's something that he's done with this film as well. It's definitely, in terms of scale, something that that's unimaginable even by Tamil mass or commercial cinema standard. It's really up there in terms of the action sequences, in terms of the VFX. But I think beyond all of that, what is different about this film in terms of it being an SRK movie, we have not seen him come out in public making political statements. It's something that we've not associated him with so far as his cinema is concerned. And here he is talking about, and these are stuff that he's picked up from newspapers, headlines, when he's talking about oxygen cylinders, he's talking about farmer suicides, he's talking about how loans are being waived off for rich industrialists, he's talking about crony capitalism. There's an inherent feminism in the movie. I mean, it's an action movie with that many women who are in the fighting force. So all of it put together makes it something starring Shah Rukh Khan that we've not seen before.
Girish Wankhede, you are a film trade analyst. Let's first start with your understanding and your view of the Shah Rukh Khan blockbuster, breaking all records. My question to you is, in Hindi movie industry, do we still, and I would very consciously use the word sadly depend on the big guns to deliver, despite the fact that we've got super artists, brilliant actors, and great productions, and yet somehow it's only when these big guns deploy is when you make the big money?
Of course, big guns or the big stardom is very much needed here. But in addition to big stardom, we have some content-driven films also, or the less star or the middle level or B or C level stars also who are delivering good films if the films are good. But in this year after Pathan and Gadar 2 and then Oh My God 2 and of course Rocky and Rani Ki Prem Kahani, we have a small film like Dream Girl 2 also which is doing good. So films with a huge star cast gets obviously more attention, and this is a very one of the biggest releases. It is released in 5,000 screens in India and 4,000 screens abroad. So that type of stardom is needed to have this wider a release. This type of film needs that type of mounting, and Jawan has everything which a big blockbuster, potential blockbuster film needs. So, of course, yes, it is the superstardom of Shah Rukh Khan. And actually, with this, it's like a project where we have Vijay Sethupathi and then Nayantara from Tamil film industry, and we have a huge star of Naz. So this combination also works worldwide. So obviously, yes, your question is right. We need a superstar to have this sort of numbers where we are talking about almost more than 30 crores on working Monday also.
Yeah, absolutely. Yash, let me come back to you. Do you feel that Shah Rukh Khan too has realized that the marketing and promotion of movies has to be slightly different? We did not see him pushing any big interviews. We did not see him making trips to perhaps prominent malls. Yes, he did visit temples. We saw him visit the South. And that seems to be a very clear and dramatic shift in the way movies are promoted.
Sorry to cut you off here. He did not go to a temple to promote the film, first thing. And I want to mention that the reason why I believe that he stopped doing interviews and all is because of the way media portrays things. What he says and what media shows is entirely different. And next thing is that I think he realized that he has, the love that he gets from all of the fans all over the world. I think that's enough to market, and the kind of stardom he has. He need not go to the malls and, these TV shows and all and say that, okay, my film is coming. The moment he drops a trailer or the poster, fans are aware, okay, the movie is releasing. So I don't think that there's sort of a marketing sort of a shift, but I would say that now he knows that, okay, he does not need to go to
That's exactly the point that I'm making, Yash. The fact that earlier there were interviews and now there are very little or none.
Yeah.
And he realizes that he doesn't need this. In fact, what he needs is his fans.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Mayank Shekhar, let me ask you this. There's this review in a website called thenewsminute.com, and it had a very interesting take. You see on social media, I don't know whether that is legal or not, because a lot of people were inside the cinema hall, they recorded a clip of Shah Rukh Khan and his monologue, questioning the establishment and ask the government, what have they done for your children? And the News Minute feels that this is the return of the anti-establishment hero in Indian cinema. Would you concur, or do you think that this is not right?
So here's the thing, right? Even back in the 70s, when people were talking about how there was joblessness in India and, the disenchantment of the youth, and therefore led to the angry young man of Amitabh Bachchan, right? I think people were just watching action films. And I don't think action films will ever go out of fashion. And what else is an action film going to have at the center but a really angry man, right? So I think it's a genre thing. I don't think people ever people ever left, their love for it. But I think those movies stopped getting made. And now in the past 2 to 3 years in particular, whether it's a Pushpa or it's a Gadar 2 or it's an RRR and of course Pathan, Jawan, you realize that genre is totally back. That front bencher genre of loud action stuff that's also goofy at times. So I don't even see it as violence. I know you mentioned violence before. I don't think anyone takes it seriously. It's not really violence in a real sense. But I don't think people ever stop loving them. for some reason or the other, Bollywood stopped making those films as regularly.
No,
And I
my
think you'll see,
question,
like,
Mayank, my question was about the return of an anti-establishment hero. Someone who on screen questions the establishment, questions the government. Because, you know, of late what has happened is that a lot of stars have been accused of pushing propaganda or, pushing an agenda. We know of these criticisms. However, I feel that in, cinema, you should be allowed and entitled to say whatever you want. Now, if it is a propaganda, so be it. Make another film. Say your side of the story. So do you feel this is the return of that anti-establishment hero?
I think it would be too early to say. This is genuinely Shah Rukh Khan's first in-your-face political film. It's done hugely well. But the others are not anti-establishment movies in any form. All those that I mentioned, whether it's an RRR Pushpa or Gadar 2 for that matter.
Yeah.
Gadar 2 is really Gadar 1. And Gadar did really well back, in 20 years plus ago and did exceedingly well even now. So I don't know if there's any trend to be found except the fact that action is certainly back at the big screen.
All right, Mayank Shekhar, Yash Paryani and Mr. Girish, thank you very much for joining us. I haven't seen the movie. Let's hope that next weekend, perhaps we'll go and see, provided I get a seat or a ticket, because fans have just gone crazy. Girish Johar is a film producer. He also joins us. Girish, how do you view SRK's Big Bang return to the screen?
For the entire fraternity, it is a major thing because everyone was very upbeat about the film. What it has done is those industry ke sentiments is very positive, very strong. Everyone is talking about it, not only in India, obviously in the southern markets also, and overseas. The numbers are huge. It's probably the second biggest film over the weekend on planet. So that's a big thing.
Girish, do you feel that this is a matter of concern that even now, and I asked this question of the panelists also, it is the big guns of the Hindi film industry, with all due respect to them, I mean they are superstars, but they're raking in the money, they're getting in the big monies, despite tremendous talent that we have seen on display. Thanks to COVID, in a weird way, that OTT helped us discover a great amount of talent in the Hindi film industry.
Yeah, Hindi film industry has a lot of talent. I don't think it's a concern. I think people are showing where the love, stands. And what had happened during the pandemic, Sanket, क्या हुआ था कि cinemas बंद हो गए थे, तो OTTs वगैरह का एकदम this suddenly got a huge spurt in growth. So everyone started concentrating on that particular market. And again, OTT is a very metro urban phenomena. So commercial cinema, jo commercial audiences are, they were forgotten. They somehow felt left behind. Post the pandemic, Pathan aaya, Gadar aayi, now Jawan is there. So people are thronging to theatres. So somehow I feel that they were left behind as an audiences to be tapped, and that is the reason why they are going to theatres. Coming back to your original question, why only the elder or the older stars are being attracted, it's probably because they know the pulse of the audience right now.
Girish, my final question, what do you say about the style of promoting this movie? Now, there seems to be some sort of a change. Of course, the members of the SRK universe don't seem to agree. But there seems to be no big interviews or mall visits. But yes, visits to a temple. And also visit to certain locations in south of India.
Definitely there will be a change. I think the first change came with Pathan. That is when they enticed the viewers so much that they gave the trailer, they gave the promotional materials, they didn't give media interviews, they did not do mall visit. कुछ ऐसा उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया. So एक क्या हो गया, जो एक hunger थी to watch the star onto the big screen, जो कि पहले होता था, that came back. So it worked brilliantly in Pathan. It has worked brilliantly in Jawan also, because everyone wanted to see the film on the big screens, and Shah Rukh and team Red Chillies ensured that their hunger is satiated by watching the film on the screen rather than meeting them in a mall.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Girish Johar, for joining us. With that, we've come to the end of this broadcast. But if you haven't watched the movie, like me, you have been living under a rock because the whole world is going rah-rah and gaga about this movie. Try to catch it. Thank you so much for watching. Good night and goodbye.